They're all in. And they're off. Andy's Pistolero, good break. Same two for Stormy Brew on the inside. Here's Boss Lily moving forward. The far outside is Runaway Rooster. In that group two is Tug from the inside as they sort out on the pace together. Three across the track. On the inside, Tug moves up in between horses. Boss Lily on the outside, Runaway Rooster. Here's Donut Dust moving right off the trio into fourth position. Stormy Brew drops back a bit in fifth. On the inside is Joe Class, who's next. Followed on the outside by Painted Lion about four deep. In between horses is Plenty on Tap. Try to work forward within five of the lead. Plenty on Tap gaining a bit of ground in the early stages of the race. Stormy Brew continues to drop back a little bit. Here's Triathlon, who's splitting horses, starting to run on from the back of the pack as they round the far turn. Andy's Pistolero is back there now, second to last position, and past the judge is in the back of the pack with a lot to do, with about 3 furlongs left to go. Still a scramble on in the pace together. In the blue colors, Runaway Rooster. The outside, here's Painted Lion. Painted Lion going to try to go on with it. Tug down to the inside is staying on. Boss Lily is backed out. Between horses, Runaway Rooster is under some pressure. Plenty on Tap is taking that rail into the stretch. And Triathlon toward the center of the track. They've got a furlong and a half left to run. It is Painted Lion just in front from Tug on the inside. And Triathlon next in third. And Runaway Rooster on the inside is Plenty on Tap. Tug just there, 18-1, narrow lead. 16th to go, second wire finish. It's Tug desperate for the second wire. Painted Lion there on the outside. Tug and Painted Lion, Tug, Painted Lion, and Triathlon. And fourth was Plenty on Tap. Minute 43.55. Finish 1 mile. And they're off. Slow to go was the Goddess Factor. Breaking a bit awkwardly there was Fabia. Wise and Elegant, wasting no time at all. The outside is Got Game with early speed. In between horses, Ade is going to mix it up too. Synergism picks a spot early in the race in fourth. And just off the trio of leaders. And it's a Cozy Thing down to the inside. Hey, back at you is next, only 4 lengths from the pace. Back to Fabia, and the Goddess Factor is last. Only 8 or 9 lengths from front to back. 5 and 1/2 furlongs left to run. Wise and Elegant at the rail, setting the tempo. Wise and Elegant from Ade second, and Got Game is third. Inside is a Cozy Thing. Synergism on the outside is Patient. Here comes Synergism now from fourth and third, and moving within a length and a half of that front runner, Wise and Elegant, into the far turn. They're followed by Hey Back At You, who's coming under pressure, passed by the Goddess Factor on the move, while 3 or 4 wide around that turn. And Fabia has a lot to do now with 3 furlongs left to run. Wise and Elegant gives way to Synergism. Synergism's in front. The Goddess Factor has moved up on the far outside into second after breaking a bit sluggishly for the gate. Wise and Elegant continues under pressure and dropping back. On the inside is Ade down to the last quarter mile, and it's Synergism an upper stretch with a lead by 4. And the Goddess Factor, Ade, battles on the inside. They're head-to-head for second with 1 furlong left to go. Synergism and Javion Toledo going to work on the Grey Filly is Synergism by 4 lengths, the 16th left to run. And on the inside, Ade fighting with the Goddess Factor for second. And then it is back to a Cozy Thing fourth, Synergism. Minute 39.54. Gism is a 3-year-old Gray filly by Frosted out of Synergy Between Us by Empire Maker, bred in Kentucky by Cassius Kingston. And they're off. Skillion off to a good start today. Flatter My Dad. Here's Profound Change. The filly's got some early speed. This is the life of the black colors. And Top Manipulator away fifth on the outside. Then back to Grand Hall. And trailing the field is Rebel Prince back there too. Into the far turn they roll. And it's Skillion. Skillion leads the way. Clears off from Top Manipulator. Profound Changes in third. This is the life is racing in fourth position. Back to Rebel Prince. Flatter My Dad. And Grand Hall ridden along in the back of the pack, trying to advance four wide on the turn. Grand Hall improves a couple of spots, but out wide and plenty to do. Pacify 16th, and it's Skillion from Top Manipulator getting away, opening up 2.5 lengths at will. Next is Profound Change in third. Grand Hall is advanced to fourth on the outside and out wide into the stretch. They make the turn for home. Skillion by 4 or 5 lengths. Skillion aims for the 8th pole and a 5-length advantage over Profound Change. The filly's running a big one from second. Out center of the track is Grand Hall. He's trying to pick up from third position. A 16th left to run. Skillion and Jevion Toledo with back-to-back. It was a cruise for Skillion. Skillion does it well by a half dozen lengths. Second was a Profound Change. Flatter My Dad at Grand Hall. $6.60. $2 exacta, $15.60, trifecta, $29.20, superfecta, $81.80. $22 minutes to race 4. And they're off. Spencerian on the outside to fire up. Navani and Cluck Cluck near the inside. Cluck Cluck going to take back a bit into the first turn as Spencerian will go on with it. Stopwatch is racing 3 wide around that turn as Sheila's War Cloud has settled in alongside of Stopwatch riding that inside. And Beautiful Blom, no speed today, is last as they move around that turn. Spencerian setting the tempo. 3 parts of a length. Cluck Cluck is eager to go and tugging on the inside at the rider. Cluck Cluck down to the inside and Yedsit Hazelwood. They've got a head in front from Spencerian now just off the rail. Navani's tracking on the far outside in the clear. Stopwatch is in fourth. Sheila's War Cloud is fifth, just 3 lengths from Cluck Cluck. And Beautiful Blom in the back with 5 furlongs left to go. It's Cluck Cluck leading the way. Spencerian, Navani second and third, just outside of Cluck Cluck. Stopwatch on the outside of Sheila's War Cloud. Sheila's War Cloud riding the rail into the far turn. A half mile left to run. Beautiful Blom is yet to pick it up from the back of the pack. pack. Around the turn, Cluck Cluck, Spencerian, Navani sticking with them while 3 wide. And Sheila's War Cloud is in 4. Stopwatch is ridden along and losing a bit of ground. And Beautiful Blom is trailing the field. They reach the 5/16 pole. Cluck Cluck down to the inside. Spencerian in between. Navani given the cue on the outside. Still 3 across the track. And Beautiful Blom, who is taken back off the pace today, going to try to rally and swoop and loop around them. Moves 4th the far outside. Then back to Sheila's War Cloud. Cluck Cluck a narrow lead. Beautiful Blom set down toward the center of the track. Beautiful Blom and Forest Boys. Beautiful Blom in front, 11-1. Going to spring it upset. Beautiful Blom last to first under Forest Boys. Cluck Cluck and then Sheila's War Cloud and Navani. Beautiful Blom. Railroad Trainer, bred in Maryland by Charles Blanford. 3-year-old Chestnut filly by Blofeld, out of Best Mom Ever. In the gate. And they're off. Missy Boss wasting no time, Major Houlihan. And here's Maximo Madness taking 3rd into the turn run. La Chica for Tequila is next. Then to the outside is Bossy Boots, followed by Don't Tell Kelly, who's racing a good 8 or 9 lengths off the pace. Chublin second last position, and Honor the Truth is the last runner. As they move around that turn, it is Missy Boss in charge. In charge by a length and 3/4, Major Houlihan in second. Don't Tell Kelly eager to go from 3rd position. And then it is Maximo Madness. So the inside is Chublin next. La Chica for Tequila. And next is Bossy Boots ridden along. Trailing the field is Honor the Truth still. Heading with 5 furlongs to go to the far turn. Missy Boss up top. Leads it from Major Houlihan by 2.5 lengths. Don't Tell Kelly a bit more settled in 3rd. Chublin on the inside in 4th, and Maximo Madness in good striking range while 3 wide still. Another 2 lengths back, and La Chica for Tequila is actually losing ground now into the far turn run with 3 furlongs to go. Missy Boss in front from Major Houlihan, driven on the outside. Don't Tell Kelly trying to get going from 3rd. Maximo Madness alongside of that runner. Back to Chublin in 5th. The others have plenty to do. They've got to catch Missy Boss at the top of the stretch from Major Houlihan. The lead's a length and change. Don't Tell Kelly, Maximo Madness. They're racing on the far outside. Missy Boss is set down with a 4-length lead. Major Houlihan could not get by, and the others are just even pace. Missy Boss in front by 5, almost 6 lengths with a 1/16 of a mile left to go. All the way for Missy Boss. Missy Boss by a half dozen. Here comes Honor the Truth, moving to second. Missy Boss, Honor the Truth, Major Houlihan, Maximo Madness. Minute 48.71. Year-old Chestnut filly by Holy Boss, out of Zenat by Mingun. Dollar trifecta, $1,237.80. Dollar superfecta, $6,837.60. Pick 5 returns $4,165.60. 22 minutes to race 6. Scratch. One-mile second finish. And they're off. Very slow to go there was Cynthia Gale, who broke at the back of the pack, along with God Willing, who's well last. Moving on to the main portion of the track from the chute, we have 5 of them trying to sort out of the lead. Wicolia Lady up on the inside, and close up is also right there. And Professor Grace is part of the early pace as well as they move now. And Lad's First Love is in the mix in between horses now, ridden along a bit from fourth. Nobody's Girl is fifth on the outside. The first 5 separated by 3.5 lengths. And back to Julia's a Fox Gray. Another 5 back, and a week with Grabby. Cynthia Gale is next. And racing in the back are Whiskey Brew and Serious Lady. And God Willing is last a long way into the far turn run. Round the turn they roll, and still across the track, close up, Professor Grace to the outside with Colia Lady down to the inside, tries to stay with him, and it's another 6 back, and Nobody's Girl is racing fourth, another 6 or 7 back, and Julia's a Fox is next, and then to the outside, Cynthia Gale, and they're into the stretch, close up, and Professor Grace just in front, a quarter mile from home. On the inside, close up is willing to battle back for more, and here is close up, who's grabbed a narrow lead. On the inside, Nobody's Girl gaining late momentum, wide open run on the inside for Nobody's Girl, and Nobody's Girl has some stamina with a 16th to go. Nobody's Girl from close up, and next to the far outside, Cynthia Gale is trying to move on for a share along with Julia's a Fox near the inside. Nobody's Girl from close up, can't tell for third. Minute 44.32. Up is also right there, and Professor Grace is part of the early pace as well as they move now. And Lad's First Love is in the mix in between horses now, ridden along a bit from fourth. Nobody's Girl. Queen's Farm and Good Magic Syndicate. 3-year-old Chestnut filly, Nobody's Girl, but Good Magic from Antonio. And they're off. Built by Kozan Hard Scent from Dewey's Beast, and Furmantown away running third position. Virtuosity is next, then Kernus K is on the chase, 5 off for speed. Cattiva Ragazzo, Spring Decision in between horses in that group as well. Another 5 to Tethered Soul, and Crab Daddy has to pass them all. Crab Daddy last, but a quick pace going out there as Built by Kozan speeds along with a 2-length advantage. Kernus K now moving in between horses, and to the outside, Cattiva Ragazzo is also on the move, in Furmantown up close there in fourth. 2 more lengths. Spring Decision is unwinding. Here's Spring Decision moving now, 4th position, 5 off that leader, and it's a new leader, Cattiva Ragazzo, top of the stretch, turns for home. From Built by Kozan, Spring Decision to the center of the track. Kernus K is working a bit harder than Dewey's Beast on the inside. Cattiva Ragazzo leads the way by 2. Built by Kozan, Spring Decision trying to pick up late steam on the far outside. Crab Daddy for a share for a long left to run, and Cattiva Ragazzo leads the way. Cattiva Ragazzo, Dewey's Beast on the inside, trying to come with a run, late run. Crab Daddy, photos up and down. Dewey's Beast surging at Cattiva Ragazzo, and then Crab Daddy late on the scene. Photo finish. Minute 11 point by Pinnacle Partners LLC. Gary Capuano, trainer. 5-year-old bay gelding by Great Notion from Dwelling Place by Forest Camp. Bred in Maryland by Frank Perry Jr. And they're off. Radical Right in Karen's Notion, Northern Flame with early speed, SS Sinatra. Here's Saxon settling at the back of the pack. And in fact, it is Saxon who's dropped back to last now. And Arden's lucky to be a beat slow to go. Is Eager is second last position, while 3 wide of the track. It's Northern Flame leading the way from SS Sinatra, Karen's Notion, Radical Right. Then Saxon on the outside. Arden's lucky to be still a bit tough to handle. 4.5 to 5 lengths will cover the field into the far turn. Northern Flame 3/8 to run from SS Sinatra, neck behind Karen's Notion. Saxton on the outside. Radical Right, Arden's lucky to be is trailing the field. 5/16 of a mile left to run. SS Sinatra. SS Sinatra puts the head in front for Northern Flame. Saxton, Karen's Notion is driven in between horses. They're in upper stretch and straightening on for home. SS Sinatra leads the way about a length in front from Northern Flame. Karen's Notion willingly in between horses. Tight quarters for Radical Right, who's trying to get on through, but lots of traffic there for Radical Right. The far outside Saxton, SS Sinatra just holding on there. A lead, Northern Flame coming back. Photo up and down. SS Sinatra, Northern Flame, another tight photo thriller. Saxton and then Karen's Notion. Sinatra, owned by 3 Reasons Racing and trained by Kerry Holbein. In the gate, and they're off. Finney and Vita away sharply. Impressiveness is right there. And Economic Headwinds has early speed too. And they're followed by Pencil Me In, who's a close fifth. Another 3 or 4 lengths back to Palacios, second to last. And Master Schemer is trailing the field. 4-way scramble up front. Economic Headwinds just in front. Vita there on the outside. Finney's deepest out. 3 across the track. Impressiveness is back and forth as 3 of them go on. Pencil Me In has 5 to make up. Back to Palacios. Another 8 back. Master Schemer is the trailer. Finney Vita getting ahead now from Economic Headwinds as they're midway on the turn. As Palacios tries to unwind on the outside, has moved into third position. Finney at the top of the stretch. Finney the leader by 2. Finney's the leader. Palacios coming on the outside. Vita pressured on the inside. Another 5 lengths back. Impressiveness is next. Economic Headwinds has dropped back. Third of the stretch, and it's Finney and Palacios on the outside. Vita continues to fight, but third, 1 furlong left to go. And here's Palacios. Palacios. Palacios just in front. Palacios driven from Finney. Vida is third with a 16th left to run. Palacios in front and pulling away. Ridden out, rolling home. From Finney second. Then it was Vida Master Schemer. Jiraco Jr. up. Palacios bred in Texas by Richard Chandler. 2-year-old Doc Bear Brown gelding by Entice.